Hello, my name is Paul, and I am part of the Incredible Education Department at the Clark Planetarium in Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. Prior to that, I recently retired from teaching kindergarten through 12th grade students, with most of that experience with 6th through 8th grade middle school students. I also mentored teacher candidates from several universities in California and Utah since 1986. From 1978 to 1982, I was a Disney Imagineer at Wed Disney in the engineering department. I want to thank you for the opportunity and honor in sharing a lesson that has proved to be of great value to us here at Clark and to the students that we presented it to. Today, I'd like to introduce that lesson that we created to present to pre-K and second grade students on the NOAA Science on a Sphere and how it can be adopted and adapted to be presented in the classroom. As you can see, the SOS, Science on a Sphere, is a 6-foot diameter screen in the shape of a sphere. That, with computer programs and 4 projectors, we can produce a dramatic visual. Ours is accompanied by 4 65-inch flat screens above it to use to provide details and accentuate what is projected on the sphere. You are looking at an example of our lesson, Sun, Earth, Moon. We recommend it for 2nd through 5th grade students. Many lower grade teachers would choose this lesson because it was the closest to their needs for their students in lieu of not having one for their grade level. For this reason, we chose to create a program that would satisfy the curriculum needs and to engage the younger kids specifically. Younger kids yearn to be read to share a book. We took this concept and turned the SOS into a giant picture book. We wrote a story that covered the core curriculum for that age group and added graphics that would appeal to them. In addition, tactiles were added to make the kids part of the lesson. I will cover them in a moment. But first, let's take a look at student attendance and the lessons that they attended. Specifically, if we are looking at strictly at the numbers, the graph shows the success of offering an age-appropriate lesson. Please look at the second bar from the left of the 2023 graph. It represents the lesson Sun, Earth, Moon, or SEM. It includes approximately 3,000 students in the K through 2nd grade out of almost 8,000 students that viewed that lesson during the 2023-2024 school year. If you look at the program in 2024, we have added Sun, Earth, Sky. In 2024, 4,000 students viewed Sun, Earth, Sky, more than the previous year that viewed Sun, Earth, Moon. Still, the number grew for 3rd through 5th grade if you look at Sun, Earth, Moon right next to it. More importantly, we received praise from both teachers and the kids from the new program. To continue, let's take a look at some of the slides from the Sun, Earth, Sky program. For these next few examples, you'll be able to see what is on the sphere, the flat screen, and the story itself for that page. Right now, you are looking at what the kids would see on the screen alone. Here, you see that we have a nice cheery sun face on an image of the sun. This is on the sphere. On the screen above it, we have this image of the sun plus the word sun, and below it is where the closed captions will come with the script. Below is the script, and we chose not to have the script on the screen page because we use a closed caption system that shows the words as we read it to it across the screen in this area. It also includes a language translator, so if needed, we can use it in different languages to help those classes that have second language students. This is a space on the slide also, though, that if you'd like, you could put the script right here so that kids can read it along with you. The questions are key. If you look next, we have engagement questions. Who likes the sun? Why? What do you like to do when the sun is shining? What is the weather like outside? Hands fly up to answer those questions. More fly up to ask more questions. And we are inspiring inquiry. At this point of the program, you're probably wondering, what if we do not have an SOS system? Well, in the classroom, this all can be done on a smartboard, flat screen, or projection system, which allows you to have your own personal picture book feel for a big group. You create the slide presentation, and then in place of the sphere, you use 3D tactiles and visuals that I will cover next. Here we go. So above, you can see a picture of the Earth. But at this point, if we were using the sun would be up here, and we would be using this Earth, a pea-sized ball would be the size of the Earth in comparison to a sun here. But if you do not have that, we're able to depict the sun using a smaller 3D version of it. And if you look real close below, you can see the BB that we found that would represent the Earth in size. So to depict size, if the sun is the size of the model, the small ball bearing in front model represents the Earth. We were able to find these items by first finding a model, sun, and then doing the proportional math, finding an object the size of the Earth, which is the BB. I have also used butcher paper to make a 6-foot diameter sun to hang and use a pea-sized ball that the kids can hold to compare. Moving over to the next picture, this goes along with our slide. The sun helps move the water. So if the sun heats up the water, it will create a mist, and we can spray the mist out of the spray bottle, and the fan could be used as the wind moving the clouds along. Another good experiment that you could use is cloud in a bottle. You can look that exactly up on the internet and find the experiment, and the kids love watching that. Also, we have this 2-chambered aquarium that we put hot water as red in one side and cold water in the other, and you can see the steam coming up from the heated water. The next slide is the Earth. And again, here is the Earth that we have on the sphere. And here's the slide above and the area that you can put the graphics, or that we use the closed captions. I will read this to you. Hello, I am the Earth. I am where you live. I am where many, many, many other things live. Some engagement questions can include, can you name some things that live around us here in Utah? What are some of your favorites? What about trees and plants? Do you think they're alive too? What do plants and animals need to live? Here is a animated graphic that we use to show the water cycle. The sun helps move the water. And as you can see, it shows the heating process and the evaporated water rising, coagulating on dust and bacteria and creating clouds and getting so heavy that it rains and snows. And the water comes back to the Earth to recycle and circulate. We also want to cover the seasons for this grade level. And here we have what is on the sphere, and inside the picture on pips, we show different weather and different seasons. And then on the slide above on the screen, we show the 4 seasons, and we can question the kids which season is which. Some of the script is, what does the sky look and feel like outside now? And you can talk about the season that you're experiencing with the kids at that moment. I'll give you a moment to take a look at these questions and script. This is one of the final slides, and we call it Thank You, Sun, Earth, and Sky. To conclude this part of the story, we say goodbye to the sun, the earth, and the sky. Before we say so long, let's say thank you to the sun. I am the sun. I make light. I make things warm. I help things grow. I am the sky. I am the air. I hold the clouds. I help move water. I am the earth. I have water. I grow life. Remember to have fun learning and exploring. Now we say so long. And the final slide, we said, before we go, here I am again. I am your sun. I warm up your days and light up your sky. Did you know that I have other friends orbiting me? This last slide is an introduction to the sun and its friends, the planets, opening up more wonder to what is out there. Perhaps this is more of a reading lesson than science, but please remember, by fostering reading skills and by encouraging conversations, making predictions and questions while reading, you help kids understand. Sharing books opens up new worlds, especially with space content. It encourages children to dream big and think creatively. Again, creativity is intelligence having fun. With basic reading skills such as encouraging conversations, making predictions, and asking questions, along with a little fun, you help kids understand. Sharing books opens new worlds, especially with digital content about space. It helps children dream big and think creatively. At the bottom of this slide, if you have any questions or would like to discuss anything with us, there is the email that you can get a hold of us with. And again, thank you so much.